Hey everybody, this is Kohdok here, and the movie Detective Pikachu comes out in just a few days, so I figured I'd talk about it a bit. Detective Pikachu actually has me really excited because I think it's the first video game movie to really answer the question, how do you make a good video game movie? Now, with a lot of video game movies, they either buy the name to kind of crank something out that's weird and totally unrelated, or other times they actually try to get a bit too close to what the video game is. And when you do the first part, you kind of disappoint fans of the series who are expecting something that resonated with them. And in the case of the latter, if you get too close, because video games are an interactive medium, taking away that interaction actually tends to make things not very exciting. As for Detective Pikachu, I think the answer that they have come up with that really helps is, how do you make a good video game movie? To them, find an angle. In the case of Detective Pikachu, there's definitely a lot of work that's gone into that movie with a lot of the character designs, a lot of the world building. There is so much world building and lore in that movie. But the thing is, it's not just a Pokemon movie, it's a buddy cop movie. And a buddy cop movie has comedy, it has banter, and it has a mystery. So the fact that it is doing something other than just being a movie about Pokemon tells me that it will be a much more entertaining ride. I've been enjoying the trailers. It took a little while for the designs to grow on me, but they've really grown on me in a way that I don't think the Sonic design really will. But anyway, one of the characters that has been featured prominently in this trailer is the incredibly uncanny Mr.Mime. Now, I've actually kind of come to appreciate Mr.Mime being in the movie, because Mr.Mime has always been a really surreal and strange Pokemon. It's just a weird clown guy with Krusty the Clown hair, and to make things even crazier, it's called Mr. Mime, but there are women in the species. There are female Mr. Mimes, just to make things extra confusing. But anyway, I think the fact that they've kind of pushed that surreality with Mr. Mime is really going to help it a lot. And right now we're taking a look at some of the merchandise. This is the Mega Blocks, the Mega Construx Mr. Mime by Mattel. This is some of their official Detective Pikachu merchandise. I've been seeing Detective Pikachu merchandise around. This one I finally decided to pick up, and it does have that nice Lego-y look that I'm used to. Anyway, looking around, it's a $10 set, and it might be a bit small for the $10 set because it's only 74 pieces. You're definitely paying some of that licensing premium to get this guy, but it's larger than the ones like Wartortle and Charmeleon, although that comes in large part from the fact that it has ditched the diorama, opting instead for a single plate to help Mr. Mime stay standing upright. Now, taking a look at the figure here, everything is, again, nice and painted on. It's stamped on. There are no decals in this set. This is something that I will still continue to applaud, although there are a lot of custom pieces in this set as well. The feet, the hands, and the hair. Although I imagine the hair could be, repurposed into, insect pinchers or something. Not for any Pokemon, mind you. But, we still have a lot of the great things here. We have the Mega Bloks versions of the Mixel joints, which are used on these spheres here, which use pieces we've seen in other sets. These are the backs of heads for Pokemon like Squirtle or Charmander, mashed together in order to make the ball joints for his body. Mega Bloks basically got handed this character design on a silver platter when the Detective Pikachu movie came out, although they have given him a bit of a different skin color. The Mr. Mime you see in the game isn't quite this same color. In this case, it's clear that they're trying to invoke the sort of, human flesh tone that they were going for in the Detective Pikachu movie, and I like that. It reminds me a lot more of that sort of thing. We have the hands with the fingers, the painted on fingers, that's sort of funny Gecko hands. I actually kind of wonder if I have them on backwards. Those might be the thumbs, but anyway, taking a look at this guy, he does have a decent amount of flexibility. He flexes at the hip and at the knee and at the foot and at the shoulder, but unfortunately, the rest of the arm actually does not have any additional joints to it, which makes it very hard for Mr. Mime to strike his signature pose, that of waving his hands in front of him to create a barrier. I actually flipped around this arm. This arm is actually contrary to the instructions. I actually extended the arm like this to enable him to have his hands out like that to do that thing where he mimes making a wall. Yeah, like looking at the picture here, normally his skin is more pinkish. They went with a bit of a yellower color here to make it match the Detective Pikachu a bit more, but I think that's probably the only real big flaw in this model design, is I wish the hands had more posability so that we could have him do more mime stuff, like he can build walls, or, you know, he can do maybe some of the other gestures that we see Mr. Mime get up to in some of the movie trailers. But anyway, yeah, Detective Pikachu, it looks like it's going to be a great movie. Again, this Mr. Mime makes a lot of very clever use of parts. I love it when a set really pushes the available parts to their limit. I mean, they kind of had to cheat on making the shoes and the hair and the hands, but otherwise, the way that they're using a lot of these round pieces were made specifically for the Pokemon Mega Construx, but they have so many applications. I love it when a set reminds you, not just that, you know, it resembles something that you enjoy, but reminds you that it's made out of Lego, because it's like, wow, they made that out of Lego. I honestly think that, you know, printing the large parts is basically cheating, but in this case, it's clear that they made as many things as possible. So, that is a look at the Mega Construx Mr. Mime. I think it's great. I've also seen some other Mega Construx sets. I really like the Mega Construx set. You can bet I picked up the one with Chikorita when it came out. They've been making some more that have like multiple Pokemon in them. Like there's an Onix one that looks really cool. There's a Lapras one that looks really cool. There are several for Detective Pikachu, including like the Detective Office. And there's Mewtwo, there's a Raichu set I'm looking at. So yeah, these Mega Construx Pokemon, they've been pretty successful from what I can tell. They are a huge hit, including like the little itty bitty ones. They've recently been putting out some in like quick balls and stuff like that. We'll see if they do anything crazy, like do the matching with the quick balls and the great balls and all of that. That'd be pretty cool. I know that Wicked Cool has done some of that. They've put out some Pokemon that match the balls they're in. So it'll be interesting to see where that goes from here. Anyway, until next time, this is Mr. Mime from Mega Construx by Mattel, and this is Kohdok signing off.